the Council of the Ebonyi State Government. Let me, on behalf of the Director General of EBBC, Engineer Chief Timothy Wachi, members of management and staff of EBBC, members of the outside broadcast crew, Assault FM and Soul TV, led by Engineer Emmanuel Ekwe, Uche Eze Oduma Oga, Ibiam Okmani Festus Ago, I Promise Uka Eze Naji, and all other members of Ruby crew. My colleague Sandra Chuku. My name is Emenike Ogalago. Well, let me also welcome you as you join us on this live broadcast of the valedictory session of the Ebonyi State Executive Council this night. Today, Saturday, the 27th day of May 2023. 2 days to the end of the present administration in Ebonyi State, and of course, the inauguration of the incoming administration in Ebonyi State, slated for Monday, 29th May 2023. The journey that started on May 29, 2019 is gradually coming to an end. So any moment from now, we'll link you up. And we bring you every bit of the session. Earlier this afternoon, at the first phase of the valedictory session was held. And then it was adjourned to this evening, which any moment from now, the session will be declared open by the chairman of the council, who is also the governor, His Excellency Engineer Dr. David Mwezu Mahi. At the first session of the plenary, three commissioners paid a senatorial zone of the state took their turn to share their experience.
And this is 7. We must leave here by latest 7:15.
That was His Excellency the Governor. And any moment from now, we hear from the State APC Chairman and Security Consultant to Ebonyi State Government, Chief Stanley Okoro Emeha,
and the Chairman of ESCO. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, distinguished colleagues, good evening, everybody. Your Excellency, it's a privilege for me to be called upon this evening to chip in one or two words. Very honestly, Your Excellency, to describe you is difficult. From the time I started with you, I have served on the capacity of Local Government Advisory Committee, served as a pioneer essay on Capital Territory, down to Commissioner for Internal Security, Water, Peace and Conflict Resolution, then Special Security Consultant, then added with Party Chairman. Working with you gave me so much opportunity to learn a lot from you. Your Excellency, there is one thing, it will be very difficult for anybody to say it here, but I will say it. That 80% of the people here, whenever they get the call from Ekwe, their PP must go up. Because the next thing Ekwe will tell you is, hold on for Oga. And the moment you hear hold on for Oga, if you are in your office, you wouldn't know the file to touch. And then if you get to the office, Oga says you should see him by 11 o'clock. You get to the office, while climbing the step to get to your office, whosoever you meet on the road, you say, Monsa. You won't know whether it's a woman or a man. You start the police greeting, Monsa. It was a huge experience. But the two things, very obvious, is after entering into your office, is either you are going happily because you want to learn, or you will go and start crying, asking Deputy Governor, which step do I take again? How do you help me? Your Excellency, it was a very good experience. Very, very, very good experience that nobody that have worked with you will forget you in a hurry. It is not possible. Your Excellency, for the obvious want of time, I want to tell you that you really may not have known the families, not only in Ebonyi State, but across the nation you have touched. Lives you have saved. I want to take, for instance, my local government, Eda, that Yere Bridge. I tell you that there is no any family in Eda, that bridge have not touched, have not taken a life from. There is no any single. We used to have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there would be an accident there. Either the people going from Abakaliki to climb the hill, they will fail, or the people coming down from the hill, and the death will be in numbers. But it is a thing of the past now. It's a thing of the past. Your Excellency, if you watch very well, the people of Abia, Imo, that is Enugu, Okigwe, Aziz, the people that tows from Enugu Airport to Okigwe, Aziz, you don't know the gravity of road accidents. But now that we have our airport here now, those going to Okigwe will be applying this airport. Those going to Abreba and Kuro, in fact, the whole Bend the North will be applying this airport. The road is there, and it's very shorter. Your Excellency, you know, Ebonyi came to life a suffering baby under the killers and inhuman caretakers who hadn't the courage to confront the challenges that were facing the young state. I must drop a cap for you. You came. You saw it. With boldness, you confronted the challenges. And that is why Ebonyi has been seen now as the envy of the sister state. Who will believe that Ebonyi will be celebrating their airport ahead of Abia State, which enjoys NDDC money? Your Excellency, if we start to describe who you are, what you have done, and what we are gaining from you, honestly, it will be like we are praising you. But deep inside me, I know it is your covenant with God. What you were doing may possibly be you didn't know what you were doing, but it is an agreement with you and God, and you have come, you have done it. Your Excellency, you have built a political empire. The experience I had when I was and now I'm still the party chairman, shows that you are a master strategist when it comes to politicking. You confront issues with boldness. You doesn't have failure in your dictionary. All you want is this assignment, you want it and you will get it. It was a nice experience. The experience I have encountered on the whole of these years I have worked with you, Your Excellency, whosoever that want to live a life must toe the path. And I believe very strongly that 80-90% of us here are going to standing in your footprint. You have laid a legacy for posterity to judge you, and I believe very strongly that it will judge you well. Thank you, Your Excellency. We are not ending today because it's already a political empire. There is no any organization that will be as beautiful, as enjoyable as this particular organization which you superintended. The areas we didn't do well, take it that we are learning and we will continue to learn. So far as you live, so far as you are still going, so far as God is with you, Your Excellency, we will all still be meeting like this. Abuja is not too far.
Thank you.
Abuja is not too far. Thank you and God bless you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. We have three more speakers, the HAG, SLG, the Deputy Governor. But let me, as the Spirit of God leads, say this to everyone that is here. We have a new governor coming within the next less than 48 hours. Is it not correct? If there is anybody here who did not work for him, who didn't support him, can I see your hand raised up? So meaning that we all supported him. Is it not correct? If you believe that he will do everything right, he will not make mistake, let me see your hand up. We believe he will do everything right, he will not make mistake. It's only God who does not make a mistake, which means that we know that as a human being that he can make mistakes. But let me give you an advice that God gave to me. The worst thing to do is to criticize part of your success. There is no way you examine your body and you have 100%, there is no place that is paining you. Will you cut off that place that is paining you? But you enter prayers and you try to love that place very well. So what I want to say is that when we did our severance allowance, I believe in something, that if you have worked with us, if you have helped us to come to office and you bolted away, that you have wronged us does not mean that we should also wrong you. God is the judge of all. And that's why we sat down and compiled their names. But after that, SLG discovered that we have much more names than those who have not been, coming. Why? Because they don't attend any of our functions. Some of them have been sending texts and, you forgive so much, we have not been paid. So I want to plead with SLG to do everything possible to scratch and then let them be. Okay, please, all. But I want you to go and check the lifestyle of all those people who have been appointed by us, who were called, and because maybe they have no opportunity to continue with us, they bolted away, they worked against us, they went to social media, they did all kinds of things against us. Go and find their lifestyle where they are today. Go and find where they are. They are very busy collecting this, our parting gift. I won't tell them what it is. They should go and read the Bible. When they read the Bible, they will discover what it is. I gave it to them with good heart. We gave it to them with good heart. If they repent, that will be good. If they don't repent, that will be good. So I want to appeal to you that I remain your father, not because I'm senior to all of you, maybe and maybe not, but I remain your father. I remain your father. We've together given birth to a son, and that is the governor. That is the governor. To the kinsmen of the governor, I am telling you, some of you are very wise. You must allow freedom for Ebonyi people. You must ensure that there is freedom for Ebonyi people. You must ensure that the governor is allowed to be the governor of the entire state. You must do that. Even if some of you don't make the administration, I will ensure that you be at the background of relevance to give the song we all made together advice and backing. Because the enemies that fought us will still wait. If they don't divide us, they will want to fight us back. Do not join anybody to criticize the incoming governor. He's much younger than some of us here. We need to have patience. Even if it's me that is inheriting all this development, my body will shake. I am telling you the truth. For him to master all these things and they begin to cruise at the level we have left the state, it's not going to be a small thing. So we need to give him support. We need to pray for him. We don't need to start scrambling what we get. God forbid if he passes well, if he fails, God forbid, we are the one that have failed, not him. It's a product of 215, 219 sets. Is it not correct? There is none of you here that opposed it when we chose him. None of you did. So we must give him support. Even when he's making mistakes, the ones that you cannot correct, call me on phone. Jonathan's administration was pulled down by the people working with him, and those people suffered the most. Let us give him support. Those that have even retired, like the PAM secretaries, you are still very relevant. You are still part of our success. Don't be angry with me. It's the Spirit of God. Some of you would have been retired so that you can make an administration, appointments. So I want to plead with you as the Spirit has led me. Let us not criticize him. Do not fight the government if you don't get appointed. If your wish is not done, please don't do that. I'm still your father. As many people God can help me to lift to the state, to the national, I will do it. Give me support to support Tinubu. Give me support to launch the Southeast into the mainstream of governance. Give me support. Don't allow anybody to intimidate anybody. The seat of governor is very, very tough and very vast. The governor may not know what is going on. Some people will be moving in the name of governor's brothers, governor's sisters, governor's friends, governor's NGOs. I fought it very seriously with my deputy, and we conquered. Are you hearing me? I am pleading with you. If we all work together with him, another 8 years, this state will be a reference point in the entire nation, Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you. If I didn't say it when God asked me to say it, I may not say it exactly the way He asked me to say it. I'll still make a remark, but it will be very few remarks. Thank you. The Honorable Attorney General. 2 minutes, or you are not in court.
Your Excellency, our dear leader and father of the state, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, my dear colleagues, members of the Ebonyi State Executive Council. Your Excellency, mine is going to be simple. One is to adopt what my colleagues have said here as touching the man, or rather the character of the man known as Engineer David Nwezomahin. And just to add a little, and that is to say that what President Buhari said during his inauguration in 2015, for me, rather applies to Engineer David Nwezomahin, because he said, I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody. His Excellency the Governor is a man who, despite your relationship with him, when it comes to getting it right and having it done in the best interest of the generality of our people, he doesn't know whether you are his brother or you are his sister. Excellency, I remember one day I was in your office and the former CP, Ali Garuba, was there. We were complaining about one project like that, either at King David Nwezomahin Federal University of Medical Sciences, Ubunu, where your brother's company, of course, did one of the projects. And he directed the CP then to go and arrest him. And CP looked at you, he said, yes, I don't know whether he's my brother or he's my sister, but what I want is that the job must be done and exactly or according to specification by the relevant ministry. And
Put
so
your hands together for hug now.
On a personal note, sir, I recall with nostalgia that fateful day, the second day of November 2017, when you graciously appointed me the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice of Ebonyi State at exactly my birthday, my 35th birthday anniversary. You could see the joy from everywhere in my family. And so, Your Excellency, you gave me all the enabling environment to perform. You adopted me as one of your sons. You encouraged me. You gave me all that was needed for that office to perform. You never interfered in the running of my office, the Ministry of Justice. And so my own is that of gratitude. Gratitude to you for bringing me from nothing to something. Gratitude to you, Your Excellency, for making me one of your trusted commissioners in this government. Gratitude to you, Your Excellency, for all you have done for me personally to ensure that my lifestyle, my economic status, and all that relates to me changes positively for good. Your Excellency, by virtue of the position you assigned to me as the Attorney General, I was privileged to interact with the heads of the other organs of government, trying to act as intermediary between the executive and the judiciary, and that of the legislature. And so, Your Excellency, the relationship was very, very cordial. You never interfered in the running of the judiciary. No wonder you were given award as the foremost promoter of rule of law, good governance, and transparency. And I think that was in 2019. And so posterity will forever regard you as one who served as governor of Ebonyi State for 2 consecutive terms without having any squabble with either the legislature or the judiciary. In one of the valedictory sections of the Ebonyi State Judiciary, because of the harmonious relationship existing between that organ and the executive, and because of the welfare packages you render to that very sensitive organ to ensure that they remain what they are, the then CJ gave you or made an order admitting you as an associate counsel. Coming to the side of the House of Assembly, we know what happens in other states. Even here in Ebonyi, past administrations witnessed turbulence in the House of Assembly. But we all shout today that Ebonyi State House of Assembly is the most peaceful in Nigeria. It's not because of that particular organ, but because of the man that is in charge of government as the governor of Ebonyi State. Your Excellency, you have done well. For me, you remain a mentor, you remain a father, you remain a boss. Sometimes it's always good to listen and listen good. You never ceased to reprimand any of the ESCO members that has gone astray one way or the other. And that makes you a father. Because it is only one who loves, it's only a father that loves his children that can say, look, you have done this, this is the right way to go. All I can say, Your Excellency, without wasting much of your time, is that you have done well. You came, you saw, you conquered. I will be making a special request from my colleagues here, and I know they will oblige me, that we create a special platform where we can always relate. And in doing that, this divine mandate, especially 2015 to 2023, will remain one united body under the leadership of Engineer David Owesomari. In doing that, we will not miss any of us here because we will be interacting. And so I thank you for the opportunity you gave me to be in your ESCO and everything you've done for me, for my family. Thank you, Your Excellency.
God bless you.
May God bless you, sir.
Put your hands together for a hug. SAG, how many minutes will you speak? As brief as 2 minutes. SAG, please. Commissioner for Airport Complex.
Your Excellency, the Chairman of ESCO and our Governor, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the distinguished ESCO members, of Ebonyi State government. I've been asked to be brief, and I must comply to that directive. One is to congratulate His Excellency the Governor and all the ESCO members, and in extension, all the divine mandate family in Ebonyi State, and to thank God for what He has used the divine mandate administration to achieve in Ebonyi State from 2015 to date. I want also to say to our dear father and the boss, the governor, thank you, sir, for the privilege of working with you. It was really a tough training, but we've learned much from you that none of us, no matter where we find ourselves today, can fail. When I joined in 2016 as Senior Special Assistant on Security, the first memo I was advised to write was from the then CP of oversee training on security. And I submitted the memo, and the reply from His Excellency was that you are looking for oversee training in security when the criminals are on the street. You better go after them. As many as you catch, the approach of catching them may not be the same. The training is in the field, so go out there and start catching criminals. And that landed me with a different mindset. And as one of the fastest growing political appointee under His Excellency, having been a commissioner, SAG, and even created offices that have never existed, a coordinating commissioner's office, I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I don't want to continue to admire on your achievement because it speaks volume. But I must thank you for allowing us to be part of this great success story. To ESCO members, those have stepped on their spurs in one way or the other by suspending you and issue you query. Thank you also for tolerating that, because it goes with the job, and it is the sacrifices we must make to get to where we are today. I won't say an apology, I can only say it goes with the job. Your Excellency, I want also to join ESCO members to say a few things about your person. When the party chairman was talking about a quiz score, that call makes one to die and resurrect almost every minute you see that call. But the beauty of it is that you're a man that has been built in a special way. You can quarrel as if heaven will fall down, but the next minute you have forgotten all your angers, and you'll be asking all ESCO members, please can we go and eat and continue with the work. Thank you for that special character. It now takes on us that all the drilling and the toughness is for us to get to where we are. And today we can comfortably say that, yes, that quarrel has really amounted to a successful and brand new Ebonyi State. Thank you, Your Excellency. You have taught us not to be lazy. You hate idleness. You taught us that the brain and the mind must be productively engaged 24 hours. It is a near capital offense, even when I was appointed SAG, even when I'm sleeping, I must get biro and the paper near to myself, and of course my phone, because your call can come at any time, and the next question will be, do you have biro and pen? And I will begin to write one government directive or the other. Thank you, Excellency, for that. I want to thank all the government officials, not only ESCO. We've all done very well. It is painful to say we are ending. It is very, very painful. Not painful, but we are going to miss all these beautiful characters we share. Each time we come around and see our faces were encouraged. But just like the Attorney General really pointed out, we can still create a platform because this is a special seat. It's a special seat of divine mandate. Not that we are the pioneer, but Your Excellency, you have been lucky to hire the best seat. You have harvested the best amongst all the people in the state to work with you. I want also to thank the Deputy Governor because most times he serves as our senior advocate when we err. All the troubles we do give to you to intervene on our behalf. Very sorry. All goes with the job, and these were sacrifices that were made for us to get to where we are. We are grateful tonight. We are grateful forever. We came and we are not going the same way we came. Today, we are household name in Ebonyi State and across nations, and we can compete favorably because we are your product. Thank you so very much, sir, for creating boldness in us. We fear nothing. We always look at the job and we confront it. You have made us to be independent. You have made us to take business. You have made us to take the society. You have made us to put others before ourselves. You have made us to know that every opportunity given to us, we must exploit it. Time will not permit me to speak about all we have learned from you. But from a sincere heart, I want to say thank you, Your Excellency. Working with you is like attending a university. And today we are getting most of our first degree certificate. Thank you, Your Excellency, as we move to the postgraduate class. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, SIG. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State.
Your Excellency, indulge me to sit and address this council. If I'm permitted, Your Excellency and council members, I will sit and thank you, sir. Number one is to comply to the directives on the 24th of May 2023 that I present a memo to council on the establishment of a state boundary commission. Fortunately, this evening, our dear revered Father Dr. Abraham Wale has given serious allusion to the need for the establishment of a state boundary commission. I have served in this office for the past 8 years, and I inherited some of the works you did and the interventions you made severally in trying to give peace to Ebonyi State via boundary demarcation between our sister states and also the intra-boundary disputes. I want to say with joy in my heart that one of the teething boundaries that I inherited from you is that of Enugu and Ebonyi, where you had about 83 pillars to be monumented, and out of these 83 pillars, under your administration, through me, we've been able to monument 65 main pillars at our boundaries between Enugu, sharing all boundary matters, and crisis therein. Fortunately, you have done well in it. I have done my best in it, but there still remains quite a lot to be done, coupled with the internal crisis that are erupting in the state from time to time, not the surgence and resurgence of crisis within the state, is to create a state boundary commission. Your Excellency, I've seen the enormity of work in resolving boundary matters and the epileptic step taken by the National Boundary Commission in resolving some of these conflicts. Some state governments went ahead of them to establish state boundary commission, and I feel that it is my duty to advise this council that it is high time Ebonyi State established a state boundary commission to handle most of these issues. Unfortunately, because it was domiciled in the office of the deputy governor, not so many staff have been trained on boundary matters. It is only between the deputy governor, the permanent secretary in the office of the deputy governor, who is also the secretary of the state boundary committee, and the surveyor generals and a few others, and the commissioner for justice and attorney general, who most of the time is not always available for the work because of the exigencies of his office. Your Excellency and council members, most matters would have been resolved by the state boundary committee or commission if we had one. But I feel that for us to establish a functional state boundary commission, there must be an executive secretary and a chairman who will be semi-autonomous to the office of the deputy governor, but reporting to the deputy governor. In so doing, we will be able to intervene as quickly as possible. Your Excellency, it was by dint of hard work that we were able to do the much we did under your administration, because on daily basis you have one assignment or the other for the deputy governor. I think under your administration and in this dispensation, I'm the busiest deputy governor in Nigeria. You created it not because you wanted to overburden me, but you wanted to expose me and also make the job easier for all of us. And I'm grateful to that. It is on this note, Your Excellency, that I propose, in line with the request of our father, Dr. Abraham Nwale Khan, that the House of Assembly be approached for the enactment of a law establishing a Ebonyi State Boundary Commission with Executive Secretary as the Chief Accounting Officer and the Chairman of the Board of the Commission. Your Excellency, the second one is to say how time flies. 8 years is just here with us. 2015, when we were about taking oath of office, 8 years was like 8 centuries and 8 decades. But here we are, saying we have spent 8 years. Your Excellency, we came. There were myriads of problems, challenges. While others would have seen those challenges and run away, you saw those challenges as opportunities to write your name in gold. People were asking questions: how will we be able to raise money? This Dave Uwezo, where will he get money to run the state? Today, most states, including Lagos, Rivers, and others, are asking questions. Where and how did Umahi get the money to run Ebonyi? Is he a printing and minting company? And most of them that have asked me, I said, it is prudent management of resources. One thing I don't forget, and I may never forget, Your Excellency, was what you told me on the day we flew down from Abuja to Enugu Airport, and we were trucking down to Ebonyi. And we were talking about IGR, how to increase the IGR of the state to enable you run the state. You simply said, my brother, the problem with us in Nigeria is pricing and costing. The moment you get it right, there will be enough money to do whatever you want to do. And today, Your Excellency, I have seen that governments that fail are governments that continue in the act of padding and padding and padding and padding projects. But in Ebonyi State, there is no padding of projects, and people are also doing contracts making money, and sustaining themselves. We have set a different tone for administering a state via contracting. In Ebonyi State today and Nigeria by extension, direct labor has become the way to go to be able to make meaningful progress in the state. Your Excellency, I tell a story in 2 seconds or 2 minutes. The Greeks had a problem. They were at war with the city of Troy. And the Greeks felt badly and terribly challenged and felt they were going to extinction. Your Excellency, the Greeks thought of what to do to conquer the city of Troy. And the Greeks built a horse, a wooden horse, very massive wooden horse. And that wooden horse was moved into the city of Troy. What did they do? At night, when every citizen of Troy had gone to sleep, they would quickly go and open this wooden horse, and the soldiers that were packed inside that horse moved out, came and conquered the city of Troy. In 2015, when we came, there were too many inadequacies, there were too many challenges, and there were too many deficits. One would say, how do we confront it? We have deficit in education, we have deficit in our social status as a people, we have deficit in boldness and courage, we have deficit in several areas, including our pockets. But you came, and those problems saw you as an innocent man that will come and play with them. Like previous administrations in other states had done, they would see a problem and glide over it without confronting it. This problem saw you as an innocent leader that has come like every other leader to come and pat them on the back. Lo and behold, to your greatest chagrin, you unleashed the Greeks' army on them. Today, those challenges are no more in Ebonyi State. For that reason, you have become our own Trojan horse to the challenges that Ebonyi had before now. ESCO members have failed, except those who spoke last, to say, Your Excellency, that there are some times that you sound bitter, and most times you sound sweet. And those times you sound bitter, like some of them confess, they will quickly run to me and say, find a way of escape for us. And softly, I will chip it in. I will not come by way of inquisition. I will not come to insist that something be done. But the moment I mention it to you, you will know that somebody has approached me, and you never turned down any of these requests. Your Excellency, I'm grateful. Your Excellency, I will also not forget what happened in 2015 when the party chairman, the man from Bauchi then, said they have a candidate for deputy governorship, that is the only ground upon which they will give you a ticket. And you said who? And I said Onwe S. Onwe was going to be your deputy. Forgive me. You said, God forbid. If it is not Kelechi Igwe, I will not run as a governor. Your Excellency, I don't forget. And that's why each time when the winds of government is blowing left, right, and center, I will cast my mind back and remember that you said you needed me to do this job. Governance is not easy. There are times you have wept. There are times I wept because we needed to put things right in this state. But in those days and times when I try to weep, I'll cast my mind back and remember that you said you needed me for you to do this job. And because of that, I chose to become your anchor, like I did say when we moved to APC from PDP. But a certain woman in the Bible said, where you go, I shall go. Where you sleep, I shall sleep. Where your people are, those people shall become my people. It has become a very wonderful marriage and journey, but sometimes people ask, Kelechi, are you sure you are a man or a woman? And I will say, well, because I'm well lettered and well learned, I know my duties as a deputy governor. I know I have no rights as a deputy governor, but I have privileges, and my governor gives me enough privileges to expand with. No deputy governor in Nigeria has a right. It is the privilege that the governor gives that you enjoy. And if you fail to know that you do not have a right and begin to fight for a right, the system will fight you, and government power will put you back in check. I have been very careful to know that I need to exercise only those privileges that you offer to me. Most people in ESCO and the people in government do not know and do not understand you very well. But as a psychologist, I read you from head to toe, from morning till night. I know when it is right to approach you and when to distance from you. Yes, as your deputy, I also try to run away from you because you made a promise that you kept. And I must say that promise today. That promise was that in 2015, even before we became elected governor and deputy, you said, not even for one day will you shout at your deputy. Your Excellency, you kept that promise till date. And that is why each time I have challenges to approach you, I want to be sure that I do not raise matters that will make you to shout at me, thereby not fulfilling the promise you made to keep. I want to say to the entire ESCO members and the entire world that you're a promise keeper, you're a man of vision, you're a man with an avalanche resources of intellect and ability. Your energy is limitless, and it could be compared to that which God says belong only to Him. This is not the height and the zenith of your journey. This is just the beginning of your journey. Like Ochudo told us, that you have a desire, you have aspiration to lead Nigeria. Not because you want to make wealth, and not because you want to make a name, but you have a burning desire and sensation in you to right the wrongs in Nigeria and put this country back on the platform of growth and peace. Your Excellency, to that we all subscribe to as members of this council, that we want to be where you are, we want to join you, we want to pray for you. We also don't want to be clapping and following you. We want to do the work that you want us to do. Here in Ebonyi, I will say today that as I subscribe and also adopt whole and entire all the adumbrations that the previous speakers have said with respect to your style of governance and administration, I want to say that you have raised a very great aggressive army that are ready and willing to change Nigeria with you. And that army is here in Ebonyi. Yes, in the course of doing this job, you may have stepped on toes, and many people may have offended you. But you're a man who is quick to forgive. You're a man who is quick to remember. I want to say, not by word of advice, if anyone has offended you in this government, you called us into this task. You didn't call us to come and build roads in Ebonyi. You called us to build each and every one of us and make us better persons that will become agents of change in Nigeria. Do not throw away any of us. Like Hag did with Ayn, it will be my prayer that you keep your close contact with each and every one of us. Whether we have looked good, looked bad, looked ugly, we are your children. Every man in his home has a good child, has a one that needs to be trained, has a one that needs to be corrected, has a one that needs to be given a push. Your Excellency, most people in this school still need your push. You have become a father to all of us, and our prayer is that the God of heaven that called you into this assignment, that made you rewrite the story of Ebonyi State, that made you put Ebonyi State on the platform where other nations of the world are calling, from America, from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Zambia, from Ghana. What is it that is happening in Ebonyi State? It was because a man knew his calling, understood the right time to strike the hot iron. He did it right. I salute your courage. I salute your industry. I also salute your brevity. Your Excellency, you are a man who is not afraid to confront whoever he is. When it was time to fight, you fought. Even the people most of us didn't know you would be able to fight. You fought them because you had an assignment. That assignment is to reposition Ebonyi. Excellency, you told us in ESCO, it was very painful when you said it. But today, most of us are seeing the reason why you said it. You said you are called to come and work and retire some politicians in Ebonyi, that they may give way for the young ones to come up. Today, you have successfully retired some politicians, and the young ones have come up. It is only a courageous man like you that will not fear the face, how the face looks like, and you will strike the hammer when it needs to be struck. Today in ESCO, you did not develop the faith and the courage. It is in you. And you invoked your powers as the governor of the state to retire some permanent secretaries. Not because you feel happy about it, not because you want them to go home and not answer permanent secretary again, but the law must be obeyed and must be followed. Your Excellency, it was a hard decision to take, but you took it because somebody must do that job. And you did it. I'm also joining you to say to the retired permanent secretaries that as you bid farewell to your various offices, the governor of Ebonyi State, NDA Chief David Umezomaye, the deputy governor, all the commissioners, council members, believe that you still have much more to offer to our state, even as a private individual and as a consultant. Your Excellency, it has been so long a time for us, and I want to say this evening that the Lord who brought all of us together will keep this state together even under successive administrations after us. Thank you. God bless all.
People didn't know that Commissioner for Works is also a PAM secretary. Is it not correct? Oh, you already resigned. Retired, okay. So you can't kill a dead horse twice. They told me one story of two prominent Northerners that are quarreling. So they came and told the bigger one that the man is quarreling with his dead. Say that the man said it's not serious, it's just the beginning. He said it's just the beginning. A man that is already dead, though, he said it's just the beginning, that it's not serious. Thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Ebonyi State. Let me start by commending you very highly. Ejika, you come here. The deputy governor, come. The deputy governor of Ebonyi State, yes. No, please, just sit down. I just want us to take the issue of the boundary commission first.
That's the valedictory session of Ebonyi State Executive Council. Members of the council have taken their turn.
In the constitution, Deputy Governor, you have to listen to me. In the constitution, we already have boundary commission, and it's chaired by the Deputy Governor. So I don't know whether, because this is boundary commission. So what are we going to call this one? Because we can't legislate on a constitutional matter. Unless if we are going to call it State Boundary Commission. Okay, so Hag, you do a letter for me to give to the governor-elect, and the content of the letter is to say that ESCO today passed a resolution to establish State Boundary Commission. Is that correct? And ESCO approved Father Abraham Wali, the SSA Religious and Welfare Matters, to be the acting chairman, pending when the matter will go to the House of Assembly. And then what's the name of the lady? Mrs. Banigo Barry, Mrs. Joy Barry, as the Executive Secretary, State Boundary Commission. So you try to marshal out with Deputy Governor. I will be in the office tomorrow from 1. The Commissioner for Trade and Investment, please, you should tell you and Obu, if you tell Pastor Eunice that our church service is just Thanksgiving service. We are not partaking in the normal church service. They should finish their church service by 11. So 11 to 12 is all about 1 hour church, my Thanksgiving. You understand? Is that correct? And ESCO is invited to join me from there to go and commission the hotel that the Right Honorable Speaker had interest, not have interest, had interest in before he is distant. So from there we go and have it commissioned. What it means is that we deserve to eat. Is it not correct? Is Chinyere Weze here? Usudude here? Udude is looking at me.
Still the happening at the Executive Council Chambers, New Government House, Oshudo, Centenary City, Abakaliki. The valedictory session of the State Executive Council going on.
And then in the Monday, are we going to eat in the morning because I think we can have small chops in the morning and then come back to ESCO here.
His Excellency is presiding over the valedictory session of the council. As the chairman of the council, we also have here the state deputy governor, who incidentally is the vice chairman of the council, the secretary to the state government and coordinating commissioner, and other members of the council.
1:30, is that correct? And then we come, then we eat in the presidential lounge. In the presidential lounge by 2. By 2:30, I will take speaker around the premises, presidential lounge, the governor's office, this place. They must open the chapel and open the Her Excellency's office. I'm not the one to do it. The prime secretaries, whoever it is, should do it. All the SAs should ensure that it's done. All the SAs should ensure that it's done. So, Chairman, you must ensure that we eat small chops on Monday morning to the stadium, and we must eat good food.
The valedictory section marks the end of the.
And there must be music for us
current
that day.
Administration in Ebonyi State.
That day. Because we are now going into rest.
And this is coming ahead of the inauguration of the incoming administration in Ebonyi State, slated for Monday, 29th May 2023.
I will also be in the office, and they will join you at the presidential lounge 30 minutes to the time they want us to be at the stadium. The way we're doing it in the stadium on that Monday is that the Bishop Nnachokoro is going to do mass by 10 o'clock. So I'm sure by 11 you would have finished. Yeah. Then by 11 to 12 would be speeches. Speeches, presentation of cola, Then by 12:30, I'm sure that they will swear in the new deputy governor. Then latest by 12:30, myself and ESCO members will arrive with the deputy governor. Deputy governor mounts the podium. I join him at the podium with Father Abraham Wali and Secretary to Government. And now I will decorate the new deputy governor. Then I will read my address. Then they will invite the governor-elect. At that point, I'm still the governor of the state. Then I will address the deputy governor as the immediate past deputy governor because his successor would have emerged. Then on Tuesday, we hand over his successor in the office. Then by after reading my address, then they will invite the governor-elect, and then we now inaugurate him. Then I will now do handover to him. The chief judge will give him the highest award, constitutional provision. And then after that, we now take photographs. They have initiated the way photographs will be. Then the governor will depart. The immediate past governor will depart. Then the governor will now go down to do inspection of parade and receive passport. So we have to fast track it, because by 2-3 o'clock people will get tired. So we like the mass to be shortened to 30 minutes and everything done, so that we'll be in the stadium latest by 12 on the dot. 12 on the dot. I don't know where Udude is. They should let him know that 12 on the dot we should have come in, to the stadium, so that by 2 o'clock he should be rounding off. Otherwise he will be talking to himself, which is not good. Is that correct? For me, it would have been for him, when he's sworn in, he should read his address when the crowd is still there. Then he will now go and they do march pass, and because if he does march pass, they will all go. Is it not correct? So that is how it will be. So do me that letter, so that we say this, the distance, that we appeal to him to immediately and you spare the functions of this committee and the settling of land disputes and all this stuff, and then you will cite the law we made about demarcation of land. Is that okay? We are grateful, oh Lord. We are grateful, oh Lord, for all you have done for us. Hallelujah. We are grateful. When I finish, a motion will be moved by the Deputy Governor for ESCO. Remind me, it is at that field that I will dissolve the ESCO. And of course, read the principal, those who are staying behind. Remind me, Deputy Governor, write them out for me. So the HAG will second the motion, and we will adjourn ESCO. Is this Senator they call it? Senator. Immediately after that, Father Abraham Wali will say a very short prayer for us, because we must leave here. Oh my God, it's after 8:15 to after 8 latest. But we must do photograph. Deputy Governor, myself first, Deputy Governor and the principal officers, then Deputy Governor, principal officers with the ESCO members, with the commissioners, after which they move, then the SSAs will come, they move, the SAs will come, they move. We have only one PA. Is it correct? Is it correct? So the PA will now snap us with us. So let me thank all of you. I will make our time to thank you tomorrow, but thank you very much, Deputy Governor. It's not easy to have a Deputy Governor you work for 8 years. No quarrel, no misunderstanding, no crack in the house. Is something to be very grateful to God and to appreciate our Deputy Governor. Thank you. Thank you. I know sometimes you go to gossip me to him, and then he will come. The moment I see him, I know who has gone to him. That is the normal thing. You have to be dynamic as a leader. If you're a leader and you're rigid, then you cannot do well. You have to listen to people. You must listen to people, and you have to open your heart to hear from God, because you are not serving yourself. I have to thank Father Abraham Wali so much. You're a very stronger man. The kind of war you have undergone, because the war in the house of God is the worst war you can ever think about. But you have to stood, because you are convinced that what you are doing here in ESCO is for the good of the people. And so I want to thank you very much, and I want to thank you for accepting to be the senior special advisor to the state government. And this is very key, and this is very important to us. Those who do not understand will not know the role you have played. Those who have good mind, religious leaders, we understand the role you are playing. You have entrenched this government in the heart of the church, in the heart of other religious bodies. This is very important. In your absence, it's very difficult for us to have extended the kind of respect and honor we extended to the church. So those who don't like you here is for their own selfish interest, and it is so terrible. But the Bible says that, the war will start in the house of God. We are witnessing it now. So please be courageous. When Jesus saw, the benefit of his death, he endured the cross. It is for the benefit of the people. If I was having you for the benefit of myself, to cover my wrongs, I will not insist that you should, continue to serve the state. After I'm going. So you can underscore the fact that, we insist on you because of the interest of the state. So I want to thank you very much. The Secretary to Government, thank you very much. The HAG, thank you very much. I can say a lot about each and every one of you. It's not very easy to work with me. So sometimes Please, can you go? I don't trust you people. When I need you, I will call you. I beg you. Because when I say something, go and change it. Go now, go now, go now.
Gradually coming to the end of the session. Well, let me, at this point, I thank you very highly for being part of the broadcast. And let me, on behalf of the Director General, Engineer Chief Timothy Nwachi, say many thanks to you. My name is Emenike Ogalago. We return you back to our broadcasting house in Kaleki Road, Abakaliki, for the continuation of our program.
I will call you when it's prayer session.
Last night, them say them see me with one girl. You believed it even though you hadn't heard a word from me.